Day 262. Sorry, I'm back. Haven't done one in a couple weeks. Anyway, we had a couple milestones that we had flipped. I have now had over 10,000 views on these little temper tantrum laced videos to our wonderful State Farm people. Hi, State Farm people. The other milestone that we had today was we got our very first check from Helen Keller. Yeah, for our contents. It took 58 days for us to get a check for our contents. That's the replacement cost that you're all paying for. Yeah, 58 days from the time we submitted it to the time we got a check. That's the first one. Go us. And we didn't send that very many in. We got reimbursed fairly well, I would say. It's not like millions of dollars. Got a long way to go. That was just for the standard stuff that we'd bought for the last 9 months. Clothes and undies and all the things that people need. So anyway, thank you, Helen Keller. You finally scribbled your name on a check so we can, kind of start to recover a little bit. Yeah, so that's fun. With the 10,000 views thing, that's kind of interesting. I could have monetized all of my YouTube videos and I could have claimed money, but I would have had to have all you poor folks that don't want to really watch these things in the first place sit through 30 seconds of advertising. So I ain't gonna do that. Hardly anybody watches these things anymore anyway, but So tonight's video is brought to you by Crown Royal Regal Apple. Tasty. So, anywho, I've been getting some grief on odds and ends of stuff. It's like, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? I hear that a lot. But I'll tell you, one thing that I have tried to explain several times, and I don't know if I've explained it quite thoroughly, was one person asked about a public adjuster. State Farm has their own adjusters. All insurance companies do. And when you get yourself in a predicament that you don't particularly like our situation, let's say, their preferred vendor had come in and they had a reserve on the house for repairs of $120,000. We were told it was by the preferred vendor that it was going to cost 120 grand. There was that much damage to the house. We had 2 or 3 other contractors come in and kind of say the same exact thing. We felt as if we could have fought this whole thing on our own. We were really tricked into thinking that, everything's going to be all right. So when we came up with our first estimate from State Farm, that was at, I think it was $36,000. That's a huge gap. $90,000. And I was actually told by one of their people to hire a public adjuster. So that was the major downfall of having a public adjuster is Sorry, I had a little glitch there. No, when you have a public adjuster, everything slows down. You got to have your public adjuster handle everything. So it's not really hands-on anymore. And if you're a hands-on kind of guy like I am, or hands-on kind of girls out there, it kind of drives you nuts. I like everything to be routine and make sense and do whatever, but it just doesn't this way. So the bad part about having a public adjuster then is you've got to pay these guys. It's like hiring a lawyer. A lawyer is going to charge you 33% of whatever if let's say you're suing somebody in a car accident or something. It's kind of the same thing, but you can kind of negotiate what they're going to pay or get paid from everything that you collect. So every single check that you get, they get a certain percentage of. It's just the way it works. It's not fair at all. But in reality, you don't have anybody else to stand up for you. The insurance company is obviously not there for you. If they were there for you, they would be a lot more straightforward and honest and more helpful. Because I was told originally that, well, $36,000, that's always negotiable between us and the contractor and all this other stuff. When you're talking $36,000 to $120,000 difference, that's insane. That's just dumb. So we had no choice but to take the route of hiring a public adjuster. So anytime I get a check, depending on, we negotiated, without giving too many details, we negotiated a certain set amount. So they get a certain percentage out of every time we get any check from State Farm. So on top of losing all of our stuff, we have to pay somebody to fight to get the stuff that we deserve. Even when we go through and we do all the work, let's say with this Helen Keller deal, with having to send in all of our receipts and stuff. This is the way it works. You're going to get so much money for all of your contents at actual cash value. You have to go and purchase those things. And when you purchase them, you send in the receipts. The check goes to your public adjuster and then to you. And they get their cut. It's the price you pay. Otherwise, you're just hung out to frickin' dry. So, hold on a minute. So, to recap everything, yeah, we got a check from Helen Keller. Yay! And then, it's not that much, but it helps. Hire a public adjuster if you have to. If you were put in a position where your contractor comes in and says it's going to be about this much, and there's a really big difference between what they say and what your insurance company says, seek advice. And then quite possibly you're going to end up with a public adjuster. It's horseshit. The insurance company acts like they've never done it before or something. It's absolutely, it makes me so freaking mad. That's why I got the Crown Royal. And then just be prepared, I guess. Like have Allstate or something. Yeah.